Her build began in 1988 at Ayling's Boatyard in Marrickville, Ontario. Built by Peter Ayling and handed off to Gerry Hancock. Geoff and Pat purchased Drummer in 2005. She sticks to the Rideau system. Been as far as Lake Ontario, approaching Trenton. She's modeled after the Union Jack Glen L trawler, which some of you may know as the Eagle 32. Purpose-built to sail the intercoastal waterway to the Gulf of Mexico and beyond. 31 feet long, 12-foot beam, and a 3.5-foot draft. The story of Drummer. Purchase is set November 88. It's hard to tell which has more rust, the bilge or the hull. Nutri-Rust will have the hull looking great in no time. Ford diesel included in the purchase. That's a Ford 4-cylinder Osco. Yeah, that's a tractor engine made in England and fitted for marine use. Conversion is completed in March 90. Diesel engine rated at 75 horses. And I tell you, it sips fuel. They don't sear much at the pumps. The engine and the fuel tank are installed. After the tanks are in, a long welding list begins. Tanks are moved for interior prime, red lead, and penetrol. Strips are glued to the interior, attaching the interior walls easier. With the foam guy coming, the tanks must be moved. March 90. Cool sunny day, perfect for blasting. Openings are covered. Let the sand fly. While the rest of the world sleeps, Lynn, Brian, and Gerry paint. Mark hauls the tin beast out. Sandblasting completed. Back in, more paint. Oh boy. Here comes the paint inspectors. They know it all. Emastic is done. You gotta be careful with epoxy. Top colors coming soon. Does this look like the face of a man who could build this boat? Doors and hatches have to be secured for winter. We might as well just go with the real thing. August 90. Time for decisions. Park it or launch it. With hustle and a lot of hassle, we decide to launch. Second time out, we got windows and doors in. She's looking good. Mark is in the Jeep. Wench is pulling. Out in the sunshine she goes. Wow, is it really going to float? With a wag of its tail, goodbye to the shop. The short trip to the water begins. Some poor fool drove to Peterborough for the prop. We're getting her down to the slip. Thanks, Ross. Jockeyed into position, Ross and Mark start cranking her down. At 9:30 on August 29, 1990, she hit the water. It's got to be quite the feeling for Bill. Boy, in the shop, she sure seemed big. He's taken an image and made it float. It's a good-looking boat. Are you going to keep on whining, or are you going to get the thing to work? Let the games begin. Last-minute fuel line problem solved. Out on the teal with the camera. She moves out really well by leaving less wake than the teal. She steers good. Hydraulic steering is smooth. She responds well. Since no gauges were hooked up, we thought we'd head back. Better to be safe. Cruising speed is 7 knots. That's here at about 13 kilometers an hour. Whilst Bill is driving, the skipper does the walk around. He says he wants to watch the bow wave like he knows some coefficient. She really does perform well, and nothing goes bang or stops working. So we swing her back under the bridge, and Ross and Mark open her up to keep up. Into the quieter water off the boatyard bay, comes down in idle nicely, and moves in steadily. For the first trial, summer of '90, some success. Does this man look happy? Now he can dream all winter of his boat in motion, and 1,000 things that still need to be done, and the 1,000 things that Geoff and Pat are still doing. Pat owns a third, Geoff owns a third, and Queen Elizabeth owns a third. Queen hasn't come out to see her as of yet, but we're ready for her. She's outfitted to sleep 5, so we can even do an overnighter if the Queen's up for it. If a man does not keep pace with his companions, perhaps it is because he hears a different drummer. Let him step to the music which he hears, however measured or far away. Thorough.
I'm gonna break your bum production.